Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a cheerful donor, and I really am super honored to be able to introduce you to Werner Cloete, who is the Chief Executive of Calling Education and also the headmaster of their first school, Calling Academy, just outside Stellenbosch. Werner is married to Lilani, and he's got 2 young children, Daniel and Emily. He's a local Stellenbosher, having matriculated at Paul Roos in 1999 as head boy. Please don't hold that against him if you're from Bloemfontein. On completing his matric, he didn't do what his colleagues did and go off into business or medicine. He decided to follow his passion and his call in the education sphere, which is highly unusual for a highly gifted young man. He got his He studied a BSc at Stellenbosch and then got a PGCE also from Stellies. And after that, headed off to the UK for 18 months, where he taught maths at the Royal Grammar School and chemistry at Berkhamsted Collegiate, both just outside London. After 18 months of enduring that horrendous weather and the bad rugby, he returned to South Africa and to Stellenbosch, where he reunited with Paul Roos as a teacher. Principally in the science faculty, but in many other areas as well. During this time, he was at Paul Roos. He taught at Paul Roos for 11 years. He completed his honours in theology from the Stellenbosch Theology Institute, and he also authored a motivational book for Christian teachers. He understands the importance of surrounding himself with good people. If you look at his board, if you look at his teachers, 2 of them are here tonight, and the support staff that he has working for him, he has surrounded himself with excellence. He's a humble man, and above all else, a visionary and an implementer, which you seldom find. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Werner Cloete.
Thank you so much, Sean, for that very kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a real honor to share with you this afternoon about Calling Education, an organization that was established in January 2016 with a vision of developing the most relevant model of providing high-quality education to low-income learners for South Africa. And it's this organization that started Calling Academy, which was launched last year. I don't have to tell you about the problem statement. We can just look at 2 quotes there. Number 1, it's the weak quality of education that many learners in our country receive by attending certain types of schools that keep them trapped in a poverty cycle. And then if you look at the one on the right, 3% of schools in South Africa produce more distinctions in mathematics than the other 96% put together. We started with a boys' school for some specific reasons. It was a bigger local need. We have this passion of developing future fathers for our country, and we see our boys as future fathers and invest in them as such. There are some efficiency gains with running a single-sex school from an infrastructure point of view, and we really wanted to improve the academic outcomes for boys, which are nationally significantly lower than for girls. There you can see our New Boy Day held last year. A nice spread of primary schools represented. We're extremely grateful that next year we'll have 23 primary schools represented in our school, which shows you the breadth of the impact and the track record that the school has established in such a short time. So what does this most relevant model look like that we're trying to develop? Firstly, academic excellence is key. We cannot go without that. We need to develop autonomous learners. We need to attract the very best teachers. We need to run enrichment things beyond the normal curriculum, things like coding, future fathers. And then lastly, there needs to be a strong emphasis on personal development, mentoring for learners who often lack that in their personal lives. We need to have extramural activities to develop these guys holistically. Soccer is obviously very big. Chess is massive. You won't believe the quality of our chess team. We are currently ranked, this is true, the 5th strongest chess team in the Western Cape at the under 15 level. And one of our boys is an orphan, and chess has given him like a real purpose in life, playing for our school's chess team. We have weekly connect groups where we have mentors from local churches and community organizations coming in, providing the mentorship. And then we also do need a feeding scheme where guys get their Future Life every first break and their bread every second break to make sure that you tick the healthy box and you keep the stomachs full for learning. We need to develop young entrepreneurs out of our low-income communities. We've hooked up with a Dutch organization. They run serious gaming, and each June holiday, we put boys through an entrepreneurship program where they Skype with learners in Holland. They have to write business plans, Rand Euro exchange and go through a whole process of presenting their ideas to mentors in that group. We need to expose them to technology. This we can do at a very low cost. Bring in your friend with his drones, his 3D printer, and then we have a technology provider that supports us to help run coding and robotics workshops. So we had one of those earlier this year. And this can be a huge value add at a very low cost if you speak to the right people that can help you. We're on the doorstep of a world-class university. How do we link up with the university to shift the thinking of these boys to realize that there's a tertiary world out there? Many of them don't realize that if you don't help them for it. There they are on the right, building solar panels, their own solar panels to charge their cell phones at the engineering faculty of Stellenbosch University. We had an incredible opportunity of taking 2 guys to Oxford University. We are working on a collaborative partnership with a school in America by which we are rolling out a certain learning style that this school in America is rolling out. We are looking to do that in our school as well. And annually, we'll be taking 2 learners that deserve it to visit London and Oxford University. You can imagine the impact that has on those boys. We also visit the companies that support us financially. This accomplishes both thanking them for their support, trying to retain the donors and building a healthy relationship, but also showing the boys what does an investment company look like, what does a travel company look like, what does a legal company look like, to give them that exposure and passion. We also visited the wine farm. They don't support us financially. We just thought if you're going to develop the most relevant model, you have to take these guys to a wine farm as well. But taking them from the science, from the grape picking, all the way through to the scientific process, so they understand even something as simple as making wine involves workers up to tertiary qualified people. The team is incredibly important. We need to attract the top teachers, and we're extremely happy with our teaching staff that you see at the top. A great diverse bunch as well. We've appointed 3 new teachers for next year, which we're very excited about. And in our admin and counseling and reception departments, we feel we are ticking the right boxes in terms of surrounding ourselves with an excellent team. Without good governance, you cannot run any organization with integrity. And we've got a wonderful board of directors which features people with wonderful experience in the private sector and in the private school sector. Our finances, we've figured out after the first few months, having the right auditors, the right financial whole setup to make sure it's run with excellence and integrity. I need to say something about the financial model because this is where it's a real unique approach. We charge these boys 6,000 Rand a year, 500 Rand a month, which is unheard of really in the private school sector. That enables us to access the highest possible government subsidy of approximately 9,300 a learner. We then ask for a learner partnership of only 9,400 Rand. The reason for that is to mobilize as many donors as possible, to build a broad base of financial support. And these people do not pay the school fees. That was a mind shift we made. The parents have to pay the school fees. Keep it low, get the government subsidy, build a broad base of additional support. And through that, we can push the fee as low as possible and push the value high to achieve that value innovation. As you can see, we're very excited about the future. We initially planned to grow a little bit faster, but just some prudence teaches us to really make sure that we maintain quality before we try to scale too quickly. So God willing, in a year and a half from now, we'll have our second campus, and then we can grow from there. As you can see, we're busy at the site where we are with phase 1. So there's progress in the background while we're working to the construction vehicles. But then phase 2 to 4 over the next few years will see us develop a proper campus that can accommodate up to 400 learners where we are now between Stellenbosch and Kuilsriver. Yeah, so what we need from you is obviously financial support. We cannot go without it. That can be for our building projects. It could be in the learner partnerships. That's just a small amount can make a huge difference. Invite us to your company. And then I need to mention one thing, and that's computer hardware, which we do need by January for our computer center for 40 computers. If any companies would like to get rid of some decent computer hardware, please contact me. And then lastly, I just want to thank all of you for coming out, and especially to IPIC and to Rian for creating this wonderful opportunity. We're passionate about South Africa. We're passionate about the future of the kids, and we know that with this most relevant model, if we can scale it wisely, then we will make a huge impact in the crisis that South African education faces. Thank you so much for this opportunity.